Very good. So today I'm going to be your moderator, or your co-host. And today with us, we have Diana Avelar from Kleecks, who is a digital marketing and search engine optimization expert. And she'll give us some insights on what's happening in the search engine industry, some novelties from Google, how the SERP is changing. Hello, Diana.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
Welcome, and thanks for joining. And then we will talk with Anna Vlcheck from Velou. Also, she's an expert in digital marketing. And with her, we will see how to enrich product data to be compliant with the, let's say, new requirements or to perform at best in the new Google search. Hello, Anna.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Enrico.
Hi, thanks for joining. Then we'll talk with Omar Odino, who is Chief Operating Officer at Kleecks, and he's also like a digital marketer with a long experience, and we've known each other for probably almost 15 years now. And Omar will tell you about how to automate SEO at 360 degrees with artificial intelligence. Hello, Omar.
Hi, everyone. Thank you.
Hi, welcome, Omar. And finally, with Adrien Vives from Velou, we will do the last session in which we will put together everything we discussed today and how to optimize the SEO using both applications. We'll start Adrien, but also Diana will join in. Hello, Adrien.
Hello. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Welcome, Adrien. So stay tuned. Let's dive into this webinar. I'll be very quick. I'll present myself just 2 seconds. I'm Enrico Fantaguzzi. As you can see, I've been working in the digital marketing and e-commerce industry for 20 years now, focusing specifically in the fashion and luxury industry, but not only. And I've recently launched the Digital Fashion Academy. The Digital Fashion Academy is a digital place where we train fashion professionals about e-commerce and digital marketing. So we give an opportunity to fashion professionals who want to acquire on-demand skills, in-demand skills, and digital skills to deep dive in e-commerce, digital marketing, omnichannel. And today we're happy to be here to talk about SEO with some experts like you guys and to discuss with all of you who are attending. Brief insights in the fashion industry today and the market today. We all know it's a very competitive market. The e-commerce sector is now mature. The customer expectations are very high. So they expect, for example, high quality images, lots of information about the products, videos in product page. So we see an increase in demand from customers in terms of expectations and what they want to see on the website. At the same time, we have constraints from Google and other devices and search engines to be fast and to provide more information to the customers efficiently. So be fast and light when we deliver. We also see that there is a progressive movement towards a black box approach that is generated also through AI applications. So for digital marketers, is more difficult now to have a granular control on what's happening in their performance marketing campaigns because everything is AI driven. And finally, we see how, the adoption of AI is practically making machines to talk to each other. So it's easier now for machines to talk to each other rather than for people to make decisions that are becoming more and more complex. Thank you, Georgia. Okay, just very briefly, we know that updated figures on Google search and search in general, but Google makes up 90% of the search in the Western world. So 5.9 million Google searches per minute. Around 46% of these searches are local. So people are looking for local things to do and local items. This is really interesting to bear in mind now that as an update as things are changing now in the search as well. Now, some interesting data about SEO performance. The top ranking pages on Google get more or less 22% of click-through rate, but 90% of the pages on the internet get no traffic at all from Google. And only 4% of these pages get more than 10 organic visits per month. Yeah. What does it mean? Let's take a look at an example from a real website. So for you to understand what is actually happening to your website. Well, this is another website, it's not yours. But you can see on the left, we have a website with around 10,000 pages online, and only around less than 80% of them are indexed by Google. All the other pages that are submitted to Google are not even indexed. Means Google doesn't save them in its database because they're not relevant. And on the right, you can see that out of all the pages that have been indexed by Google that make impressions, only 1.4% in this specific example actually get clicks. So you can imagine that out of all the pages you got, only a very little number of them actually get organic traffic from Google. Okay, that's it for my presentation. And this introduces us to our expert, Diana. So Diana, you are an expert in this sector, you know what's happening in the US, or you have a global vision from working with agencies, with large clients. So I think everybody here is interested in hearing from you what's happening in the SERP, in the search result page. So can you tell us a bit more about what's happening?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Enrico. So we are going to deep dive a little bit into the luxury sector. We are going to try to understand what was the impact of all the changes that have happened so far. Speaking of the global crisis, the impact of the rise of artificial intelligence in everyday lives. So looking into who am I am a strategy director at Kleecks. I have over 13 years of experience. I've been driving campaigns and strategies for search specifically for fashion luxury brands, multinational. So yes, the area of expertise is quite vast. In this case, we are very focused on the luxury sector, and this is why we are going to look in depth exactly what has been happening. So as everyone knows, post-COVID growth was like a bubble, a huge bubble and tremendous growth. In the past few years, it was almost over 30%, but these couple years that have been going through also this year, the growth has slowed down pretty much. The end of 2023 was below forecast, and it reached only approximately from 1 to 3% of global growth in the luxury sector. Now, looking into 2024, the growth doesn't look to be speeding up. Actually, it's normalizing post-COVID. There are some markets where you can see some changes being more significant, focusing a little bit more in China and US. Still, the growth is slowing down pretty much. So what does this mean in terms of strategies, and how can luxury brands leverage everything that's going on, especially in what comes to e-commerce? Now, let's look into generative AI, the new buzzwords that rose tremendously last year. So according, for example, a study from McKinsey, this one that we bring here just as an example, as you can see, there are a multitude of cases that can be used to leverage automation and artificial intelligence. We are speaking from content creation to a multitude of daily basis tasks that are manual and extensive that require a lot of time. So just to bring a couple of examples for how can they leverage for their sites. In this case, coding can be accelerated by up to 50%, while, for example, messaging can be automated even in 2 years' time. Now, moving forward to some specific cases that can bring even extra value to fight all these negative trends, let's say. Well, according to this study, those brands that excel in personalization manage to increase their online revenues by up to 40%. Well, that is a major change comparing to regular websites. Of course, keep in mind that with all the changes also on the tracking, the fact that you can't leverage third-party cookies without consent, also it becomes much more difficult to also follow these suggestions. So in this case, we are focusing on Google. Why? Because as you can see, as a market share, Google remains worldwide the #1 search engine in its vast majority. Of course, for some markets, specifically the Japan, Korea, China, and so on, those have a very strong market share on other search engines. But so far, we are going to be focusing on Google and Bing, that are also among the search engines leveraging artificial intelligence strongly. So what are the issues, let's say, in a snapshot that the luxury brands are facing now specifically to search traffic? Well, one of the major issues, it's very much connected also with the brand awareness, is that the vast majority of the traffic of luxury brands and also converting traffic is, of course, connected with the brand's keyword, the branded keywords. In another hand, to be able to expand, they need to fight off a lot of competition if they aim to target unbranded keywords. In another hand, unbranded keywords are also known to be upper funnel. They don't really drive conversion, so it becomes really hard to guarantee performance targeting unbranded keywords. And then last but not the least, there's always the never-ending fight between the organic and the paid that very often cannibalize each other, they overlap, and they end up competing for the very same search queries. So in this case, let's go take a look into all the changes that have been happening in Google. In this case, we've called it Google Evolution. So how is a Google powered by artificial intelligence going to change? Well, one of the things that Google has been testing was a sort of an infinite scroll, the continuous scrolling behavior. What is the main change here? Well, you will no longer have page 1, 2, 3, but it remains forever imperative to be at the top of the page. Because as you can see from this infinite scroll, on the view, the first view of any user, it's the very beginning. So lagging behind is going to make you lose clicks. So what are some of the changes that are happening right now? Well, one of the changes that is connected with the fashion luxury brands relates to their catalog. In this case, it's called Shopping Graph, is one of the Google revolutions. Google decided to bring to users an organic form of Google Shopping. It's going to supply a multitude of details. Here we have a quick sneak peek from a luxury brand. How it's going to change? Well, it's going to present to users a multitude of elements directly within the SERP. What does this mean? They no longer have to click, move from page to page to try to make decisions. They have the prices, the trends, the materials, the descriptions, everything from within the SERP. So what does this mean? This means that, well, you have to have your catalog top-notch in terms of optimizations. Now, let's move into another change that Google is providing, always to try to help the users find their best result. Well, as you can see in this case, there are filters straight from within the. This one is very interesting because these advanced filters that are called refined searches, what they do is they trim down your query according to your selection. In this case, it was selected a floral, and as you can see, the search engine result page changed to present the results that suit the most our query. Well, once again, this becomes super important to be extra careful for luxury brands to not just take care of the brand image, but also to provide all elements the users may be searching for. So once again, the impact on the luxury brands. Well, it's true that it may increase the lag in terms of organic traffic, the increase of zero-click search. What does this mean? You most likely will have less redundant clicks, less clicks from users that are just in the consideration step, that are browsing and looking around. But in another hand, what we expect is that the users that will be effectively clicking will most likely have a much more decided search intent. We are going to be much more commercial and transactional, definitely. In another hand, we also left out in this topic everything that is connected with informational search intents that, of course, are also increasing. But in this case, we asked Gemini exactly what will happen to luxury brands' organic traffic with this AI-powered Google. And here is the reply. The reply is quite interesting. Well, the key takeaway is, of course, content is always first. Optimizing the content, creating quality content for the users becomes imperative, as always has been, but focusing on product details is going to also help address these three major topics that are here described. So shopping graph, refined searches, and also search generative experience that in this case, as it touch a whole vast world we didn't explore. But in this case, let's focus into how can we get high quality product data to try to address the shopping graph at search generative experience. Okay, I leave now the word to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. That's really,
Yeah.
really interesting. So, Anna, now it's your turn. And let me just say this. As an e-commerce manager, or I've been working as e-commerce manager for many years, it would be a challenge to face this change in Google search and to provide Google with all this structured data and rich data. But at the same time, it would be for me a great, a great benefit. I don't want to say it anymore, to be able to create all this product data, this rich product data, these tags for the products automatically with AI. And I know your solution does that. So do you want to just tell us how you guys do it, how you came up with this idea, and how's your solution working?
Yes, exactly. So thank you, Enrico. I will present briefly Velou. So Velou is the next generation AI solution for brands, retailers, and marketplaces that automates product data enrichment process. How did we decide to do that? Going back in 2018, when Velou was created, we wanted to answer the question why customers, online shoppers, cannot find the perfect product while shopping online. And for that, we developed our first product, which is semantic search that understands the search queries as it was a physical, a real sales assistant in the store. But then we realized that actually shoppers don't find the right product often because of incomplete or incorrect product information. So that's how we developed our core product today, which is product data enrichment, automated by AI. So today we are enriching 400,000 products per year, and we are offering our customers time to market that is 23 times faster than the result that they had when they were doing it manually. And our customers see in average 55% increase in conversion, percent increase in conversion, and 60% increase in search revenue. So product data. What is product data? I will give you a very simple example. Imagine that you're looking for perfect pasta sauce for your dinner. So you're entering the supermarket and you see the first one that has no information on the package, just a title and a blurry picture. So it leaves you a bit uncertain about what you're going to buy, even if it can be the best pasta sauce yet that you can see and try. And then you see another one that has everything, ingredients, nutritional values, serving advices. So it's obvious which one you're going to choose. So that's actually the rich product data. So talking about fashion, it's the same. Usually we can only see color of the product, but we cannot go deeper and see what it really is, the really meaningful information for us when we're looking for a product. So today, we realize that rich product data has an impact on many more aspects than just a search, like e-commerce aspects. It increases customer experience, increases conversions. It helps to keep the competitive edge. It helps to develop and have a more performant digital marketing engagement, and have a higher visibility of products online.
Yes, so it's I would say, as an ex-e-commerce manager, I still do this as a consultant. It benefits both the SEO results, but also the user experience, right, Anna? Is that your point?
Exactly. So for brands, we are helping them to increase their time to market, their conversions, and their revenue. And for customers, of course, it's a brand image, it's a customer experience and satisfaction after the process. I will explain you how it works, our AI solution for e-commerce. So we're automating this product data enrichment process, minimizing data errors, so the data is complete, and expediting product launches, so the time to market is faster. We also created this concept of product intelligence. So we trained our AI models for them to understand what product attributes are really relevant and important for each industry. So for fashion, for example, we know that, for example, if you're looking for something specific, like let's say kitten heels, like we know that it's an attribute for shoes and things like this, and the same for like furniture, beauty, cosmetics, and luxury and other industries. In the next slide, there is a quick demo of how it works on the video. So our AI solution analyzes the visual information and the textual information, so the image, product image, and the product description if there is one, and then generating the relevant, correct, and complete attributes. So you can see on the video how it's the process, and on the visual, the result.
And Anna, just wanted to say, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the benefits of artificial intelligence is that if people do this type of work, so enriching products with the tags and attributes, sometimes, you know, you have different people doing this type of job. Maybe sometimes you get the the intern to do it, or the junior copywriter to do it. So the work can be sometimes inconsistent, and there is like a learning curve. So it takes time to learn. Instead, artificial intelligence, once it's trained and once it gets to know your brand and your specification, then it's like it's always there. It knows everything about you. It's quick. It's efficient. You just need to control what it does. What do you think?
Yes, exactly. Well, it knows everything about you. Maybe it sounds a bit scary talking about artificial intelligence, but yes, once the model is well trained on some products, it can just do the all work that takes a lot of time, and leave the precious time to the e-commerce teams for more creative or critical tasks. So exactly. That help to avoid repetitive and time-consuming processes, and to help to concentrate on something more interesting. And on this next slide, we can just see the KPIs. As you said, our AI solution helps to decrease the % of errors in this data. So as you said, when people are doing it, there might be some, interpretation. So it's not people are different, so so their perception of the product is. So AI helps to have correct product data. It helps to reduce effort and time, and also helps to boost time to market. And I think 23 times it's a very impressive boost.
And sorry to interrupt again, but coming from the fashion and luxury industry, I know how important the consistency is. So when you talk to a luxury brand, they say, oh, consistency is everything. So we need to be consistent. So also when we do the descriptions in the products, we need to be consistent. And also the time to market is like another great point I think you mentioned, to be able to, go on the market with a full set of product data on time, I think would be a great advantage. And we work and we live in a market that is very competitive, and being efficient, being fast to deliver at the reasonable cost, of keeping costs under control, I think it's essential for success for fashion brands, e-tailers, especially e-tailers maybe in this current market. Yeah, sorry, back to you.
Yes, exactly. And what I wanted also to add is that time to market is an essential metric for brands, because they're losing money for all the minutes that the product is not online. And imagine a big department store or big online store that has hundreds of thousands products to put online, and imagine how much time they need to spend to get all the collections online. So I think AI here, it's a great tool to boost productivity and to help brands, retailers, and marketplaces not to lose time and to increase revenue.
Yeah, and another example is when fashion brands work with marketplaces, that they need to provide specific sets of data that are different from the standards for marketplaces. But maybe I'll ask you the question later. Guys, be prepared for my questions.
Okay, and I will just finish with the first product that I mentioned, our semantic search. We realized that product data enrichment together with semantic search can do incredible things. So our semantic search, based on rich product data, delivers faster and more relevant results, providing customers with better customer experience and satisfaction, and helps to set brands or platforms apart from their competitors. So on the visual, we can see before and after. I think it's actually the example of one of our customers, the search that it used to look before and after integrating our search solution. So we can see that if you're looking for a white sleeveless dress, before there was, for example, just white, just sleeveless, and just a dress. Semantic search understands the whole sentence. It understands synonyms, and if it was actually a real person who is listening to what you're asking for, as for example, associate at luxury boutique that knows exactly what you're looking for. So just in the end, I wanted to speak about some KPIs for our semantic search solution. As I said, we see an average 55% increase in search conversions, 33% decrease in search bounce rates. That means that people don't abandon the basket and the product pages because there is more product information, and the more correct search and more search results, and also 60% in increase in search revenue in average.
Great. Yeah. Of course, we'll have to try your solution before we can give you our feedback, but this sounds great. Very interesting figures. which is consistent also with what I was saying earlier, that customers have more expectations about information available on the product pages, images, and so on. Okay, is it Omar's turn now? Yeah?
Yeah.
Hello, Omar.
Hello, everyone. Thank
How
you.
you
Rico.
doing?
Fine.
Excellent.
Really busy today with my son, but I'm here.
Great, great.
Okay, so 2 words about me. I'm Omar Odino. Worked for several digital marketing companies as WPP, Publicis, and so on, in Italy and abroad. And today I'm CEO and partner in Kleecks. Kleecks is an enterprise platform, is a software as a service that is designed to help the companies to improve the performance of the website. Think about something that you can apply without asking to the IT or to integrate with software development in your website. And think about a solution that don't require integration and can improve the performance of the website, rewriting the code in 10 milliseconds. So we are using machine learning and artificial intelligence to optimize code in the website. Launched in 2019, more or less before the COVID, and today we have office in Milan and London. We are managing a million of pages and optimizing pages for different brands in different industry and sector, and we are reducing also an average of 70% of cost in the implementation process for the companies, our client.
So your solution, if I understand, is a solution to automate the performance optimization of websites. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
So this is a couple of technical slides to explain how Kleecks is able to automate the performance in the code of the website. You know that usually to distribute pages to the internet user and bot, usually you need to setting the content management system or e-commerce platform that could be Drupal, Magento, Salesforce, and so on, and work on templates that are made with HTML, JavaScript, CSS file, and so on. Usually, this kind of workflow generate pages, yes, a lot of pages, but with a lot of issues. The issues usually are not because the software development team is not good or other things related to human. It's because today build a website compliant with the standard of performance required by Google, by the user, is really, really hard, because the website is coming as a systemic entity that you need to manage, and manage a lot of different rules and code, different code from different player, so other software as a service, JavaScript that are injected in the page. So it's something really, really complex, and maintain the compliance for SEO, for the page speed, for the accessibility now, for the JavaScript error is something really, really difficult to make in the origin.
Yeah, let me interrupt you. And here is where artificial intelligence is better than human to do this type of work. Is that correct?
Yes, because if you change something in one page, you can change the same reference in all the code, in all the pages, in all the languages, for all the different devices and so on. So it's something that you can do really in real time using robot process automation and machine learning.
Very interesting.
So in the what we found is a way to optimize the code. This is a schematic visualization of Kleecks that is in the middle between the pages distributed and navigated by the user and the bot, and the origin server and CMS that are providing the page. So think about a mask that can change and rewrite and optimize the code of the page before distributing the page to the internet. About the capabilities that we can put on place from a workflow point of view, usually before thinking about the complexity of the websites today, most of the team were focused on fixing, monitor and fixing, check for the regression of the code, check for new rules implemented by Google because they change the algorithm. So a lot of time and effort to fix, monitor and fix, and no time for building and thinking about A/B testing, something new, new feature, new pages, new market, and so on. So we decided to, with Kleecks, to automate everything that is related to monitor and fixing, create some feature to help and speed up the building of new feature in order to give to the human, the team in the client side, the possibility to think about new strategy, new markets, and so on. Talking about what kind of capabilities we have at the moment. Today we will talk about SEO, so competitive analysis, SEO tech fixing that is really complex, generate content and translate content that are SEO compliant and also compliant for accessibility, generate fixing the problem in the page speed. So we are talking about the core web vitals issues that Google is monitoring also for SEO positioning. And then the cannibalization that Diana mentioned before in her speech. Then we have other features that are more related to conversion rate optimization. So we are talking about A/B testing, content personalization, change, and restyle the UI of the website, but also the interaction design of the website, creating landing page and optimizing landing page. And then starting from more or less 1 year ago, we introduced also the possibility to have power from other software as a service. So we introduced the internal search optimization that is powered by Velou, and we will talk in the next slide about the collaboration, but also the product recommendation. Here you have some interesting things about Kleecks. So you will see that immediately after the activation, you will see a difference about the performance of your website in terms of page speed, fixing of errors. So you will see immediately an impact in your metrics that from Google Search Console and Google Analytics. And this is something that happened because we are a plug and play solution that can improve immediately the health of the website. And then working on the with the SEO strategy team, you can also increase the organic traffic and the position of the website. But you can work also on the customer experience. So not only from an SEO point of view, but also from a user point of view. In this case, you can see the change of the layout in order to improve and reach the experience, but also the data that are also provided to Google.
Okay, so you're basically saying that introducing this layer, Kleecks create a layer, which is like a front end or presentation layer that talks directly to Google in this case and to the users, because it's in the middle between the backend and the users and Google. Google is a user, right? So the brand people or the company people can play around with the presentation layer created by Kleecks to tweak it and change it in order to, let's say, change what they want to change from their point of view, but they don't need to work on the back end to create this new presentation layer. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. Usually Kleecks is part of the ecosystem of the client in the same way other platform that could be Salesforce or Dynamic Yield for A/B testing and content personalization. So Kleecks is at the same level but is on top of all of them. So usually, for example, if you are doing A/B testing with A/B testing or other solution, they are using JavaScript to make the A/B test. With Kleecks, we can render server side the change and provide the change also to the search engine bot. This is really interesting because you can test more than the usability for the user, but also the impact of the change for Google and organic position.
Great. Then we will talk about more if we have time and if we have questions from the people who are attending. I think, Adrian, it will be your turn now. And yes, perhaps together also with Diana. So Adrian, you represent Velou. You're also an expert in this sector. And you want to kick off this discussion, how optimize even more the performance of websites using a combination of these two solutions?
Absolutely. I think that would be first a very good way to summarize all the excellent speech we had before, and a very good way also to combine it together into, well, this is the reason why we are doing this webinar together. This is the reason why we are working together with Kleecks, because there is a natural benefit from combining both approaches. We said earlier in the pitch, and Anna, the great explained how we originated as a company. Well, the problem to find a product was what we discovered mostly on the product data side. So there is, of course, a lot of optimization needed on the search, okay, internal and external, but this is also needed to have much more product information. So now that we work together with Kleecks, and we are the first one to combine those forces in such a way that we can really unlock the potential of AI and actually make even better and stronger application with that. And maybe this is too much of a spoil, but the customer we had together using those technologies saw a huge improvement in the conversion rate. Maybe you want to say more, Omar? That was just a quick summary.
No, it's good. I think maybe if there are some questions related to our joint value for the client, we can ask also some question if Enrico, you agree. You are remote.
I don't know if there are any questions at the moment from the attendees. Georgia, if you have any questions, let me know. In the meantime, we had some questions prepared for you. For example, so we have some questions. So you guys feel free to reply which ones like you want to feel like to reply. For example, we heard, I mean, there's a sort of a opinion on the market that AI generated content could be penalized by Google, for example. Is it true? And the other one is like, what level of control brands have on this automatically generated content? Who wants to answer that?
I will, in this case. Okay, let's start by the topic, AI content for SEO. Well, to answer straightforward, if your AI content is 100% AI generated content, it's going to most likely be considered spam. Yes, of course, because AI basically in that case is just going to recycle what is already found within the web. But the AI content that we generate is generated specially really for the website. And it's after a very extensive process of training that creates the content to be dedicated exclusively for that website. It's going to replicate the tone of voice of the brand. It's going to be enriched with the SEO keywords. So it's going to just be a major boost for the content creation. It's not aiming to replace copywriters, of course. The copywriters' touch is essential, but it's going to help a lot in terms of time, and it's going to make it also scalable in the long term. That's the first question.
Now, if I can add just a bit to that there, because you mentioned the copywriter, and I think that's a perfect transition into also AI, that the AI we do generates attributes. but we use those attributes to then generate description, the way, and we have multiple ways of doing that. But by generating many more attributes, you have many more information for a given product that can be then used by clicks. And this is not going to be, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Daniel, but as spam, because it is literally related to your product. And it's a fact. It is the type of neck, the type of closure, the type of etc. And therefore, it is not AI content that is recycled. It is really, this is your product on its best angle with as much information as humanly possible to generate. And actually, it's not humanly, it's just AI possible to generate.
Absolutely, absolutely. I believe the question was regarding the subject that is going on the web, that is textual content, that is 100% AI, right? That was probably the question, because it's a very hot topic for SEOs, a very big concern, especially with the latest Google rollout that attempts to penalize the textual content that is generated by ChatGPT and so on. Of course, attributes based on artificial intelligence in this case, they actually just help enrich the content that we create with AI. So actually, it has a whole different meaning. What was the second question?
Was, brands are also concerned, e-tailers are also concerned about the control they have, or about what content is generated by AI and the need for changing it or tweaking it. So do brands or e-tailers have full control on what goes out online?
Okay, once again, let's separate the content type between the product enrichment and the AI content. The product enrichment, first and foremost, is totally approved by the clients, following the client's needs and the commerce catalog needs. So that's one thing. So absolutely, yes. AI content generated, yes. They need to have all the proofreading process, all the approval process before anything is published. So we create for both types of content enrichment, both with AI attributes or AI content generation, a whole workflow to totally give the ownership to the clients.
Okay, thank you, Diana. Other questions are your solutions CMS independent? And what are the time frame for implementation and seeing results? I see that Omar already did some chart on like the fast results you can get with Kleecks application, but are the solutions CMS independent, and what's the time frame for implementation?
Yes, we are totally agnostic about the technology, the technology stack that is in the ecosystem of the client, and usually the real process to activate Kleecks is around 3-4 days, but usually because we have an onboarding process is around 1 month, more or less, with a really limited effort for the client, because in a couple of meetings we have all the information required for the activation.
And for Velou, Adrian, perhaps you want to go?
Yeah, it's almost going to be the same answer. We're very agnostic. We can adapt to any architecture. Even better, we are also integrated with Kleecks, so that make it even easier. And joke aside, on our side, the implementation time average is 3 to 4 weeks, can go up to 5, but it is not because we need to be implemented and for the building of the structure. It's really, and that's going back to the topic before, is we personalize the outcome of our AI generation to the customer need. So we have lots of back and forth trying to understand. So let's say on your side, you name the color a specific way. So you don't say red, but you said red brick, for example, or red light red, but you will not say it the same way. We will actually do all those taxonomy adjustments during that period. That's what's going to be the most heavy in terms of implementation, but what it is really is just to personalize the model to your own way of operating.
Makes sense. I would say that my last questions would be if you can summarize what are the most relevant KPIs for brands or for e-tailers in order to, let's say, evaluate the return on investment of these applications. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, in our experience is for sure related to the increase of revenue. We are talking about the online revenue, obviously, but this is also connected. So the increase of revenue is also connected to the SEO strategy that is provided by the SEO agency. Without the strategy, Kleecks can fix everything, can improve everything, but then some human strategic thinker need to evolve the strategy and the roadmap. The KPI that for us is dramatically one of the pillars is the cost reduction, because we are talking about 70%. The difference between our approach and the approach of the traditional workflow is about 70%. So it's really, really important. And the last one is the time to market. That is something that is difficult to put on the table, because you cannot, it's not trackable as the other.
Thank you, Omar. Sounds very, very good, very interesting. But you already said the revenue as the first one, so now everybody will measure the return on investment or revenue. I'm sorry. And
if I can take this one, because it's
revenue.
Yes, of course, revenue is very important.
Okay,
And this is actually, if I come back to what I said earlier, this is why we work with Kleecks, because Velou generate more revenue, Kleecks generate more revenue. But you really understand that in that case, 1 + 1 is not 2, it's actually more than 2. And that is something we experience with our first few customers together. And that's also why next time I hope we will be able to invite them here if this webinar makes sense. And I saw for the pool result that actually it might make sense. So don't hesitate if you have any question. But on my side, I will just close that topic saying, so we are both AI solution. And the way you want to look at AI in your business is you want to look at 2 aspects. You want to look at the cost saving. So how much faster you can do the work, less effort means less money, basically, less cost. And you also at the same time look at, okay, can I do more with less? So can I get more result with less effort? And in most of cases in life, it just doesn't, it's usually not possible. But here we have a breakthrough moment in terms of technology that for once make it possible to do more with less.
And when you say get more with less or the same resources, it means also for people who work in companies, they can focus on more strategic and decisional activities rather than operational activities. That's really important, because AI doesn't mean to cut off people, but to empower them with more powerful tools to move to a more strategic role and more actionable role. So they don't have to spend time in doing day-to-day low-level tasks, but they can concentrate on what adds value to their company.
Absolutely, absolutely right. And I love that Georgia just went back on one slide that we went over quickly there to illustrate that. But the idea is really on the how to empower people to take decisions because they're less busy doing the day-to-day grind of trying to run the business. Is exactly what you said. Here we have the example of Velou plus Kleecks that is perfectly well illustrated. You see that if you have a team managing the product data, a team managing the search, if the two do not communicate, you cannot have immediate improvement. On our side, if you have something that suddenly gets trendy, everybody is looking for a new summer dress. Oh, right now it's very warm in Europe. Everybody wants some light clothes. And they start typing like, okay, what do you have in your catalog as summer dress? If you didn't enrich that data before, you will maybe take weeks to capture that opportunity. And maybe it will be cold again and you will have missed that opportunity altogether. So you're absolutely right. Doing things faster with less effort also allow for better decision, and that will allow for better decision, usually allow for increase in revenue if the decisions are made correctly. But this we cannot track. We actually have no idea. We say we implement a solution, this is what we see immediately, but we still see improvement over time. But that improvement is not linked to us. It is linked to what the team do with it. It's not us.
Thank you, Adrian. That also sounds really, really great. Thank you. And I want to thank you all, first of all, since we are near the closure. So thank you to the attendees.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. There is one question left, and I can see it as a co-organizer. So the question is, what are the main benefits of this AI-powered approach in comparison to the traditional one? And I think it's a very good question to go together with the poll results that showed actually that none of our participants automate neither product data nor SEO optimization. So I can take this one if you prefer.
Sure.
To finish this conversation, I think actually I think that the problem today is that a lot of people used to do all these processes manually, and they don't know of this possibility to automate processes to boost their performances, to boost their KPIs. But I think maybe in this question there is this hesitation about AI, that AI can replace manual works, replace people. But the idea is that actually it's always people who work with AI. It's always people who control and who make the decision. And then when we see the results that are that impressive in revenue, in search revenue, in SEO optimization, the results that we can see from our customers, I think that's the most important. And I had this example before. Before we had cars, we used to ride horses. So I mean, like there were people afraid of losing their jobs riding horses, but then it absolutely transformed the way, and no one is regretting that. It transformed the way that we live today. So I think we should not be afraid of using AI if it really helps, and we can all see how it works with OpenAI and the impressive results. But we also see that it's still helping people with their decision making, and it helped them to go further. And as we also used to say internally in Velou, you're not going to lose your job to AI, but you're going to lose your job to someone who is using AI.
Okay, that's a very good point, Anna. Thank you. So, guys, what means is that you need to start using AI, but if you're here today, it means you're looking into it. So thanks for joining this webinar. I would say just back to Georgia to say this webinar will be, I think, available for sooner or later on our channels. So for somebody who will want to watch it again or rewatch it or share it with someone, right, Georgia?
Yes, that's right.
Very good, very good. So guys, follow us, stay in touch, follow us on LinkedIn, on other channels, write us an email. You should be able to, or we'll send you maybe an email with our contacts. And thanks again for joining us today. Yeah.
And just one last thing, we're going to participate together in May in Netcom Milan. So we're going to be present there with Kleecks, and I think we saw a lot of Italian participants, so we would be happy to meet them all in person and to show more in details what we can do together.
Nice. Also, that's good. I look forward to meeting you, Milan.
Okay,
guys. Yeah.
So there is the last question. What's the name of event? So the name of event is Netcom. It's going to happen in Milan, 8th and 9th of May.
Write it in the chat. Netcom e-commerce forum. Okay. I hope I spelled it right, but that's the name.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you to the speakers, and thank you to the participants. Let's keep in touch. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The webinar has ended. Thank you for joining. Goodbye.